Sandy, we could not believe it when we started compiling the names. 33 kids disappeared from Berkeley alone since 2000. In this report, we're going to tell you why they're forgotten, what may have happened to them, and what you can do about it. An astounding 219 boys and girls have disappeared from the St. Louis metro area since 2000, according to our investigation. We compiled names from the Missouri Highway Patrol. Phoenix Colden's parents still search without the same community support as when she first disappeared, December 2011.
It is a terrible, crying, deplorable shame that so many people can come up missing in this country, with a country with the type of resources that we have.
Phoenix was living in North County. Her dad, Lawrence Colden, believes she was taken to be sold for sex and that she's alive.
I found out when my daughter went missing that there were 3 other girls that had went missing in the same area where we were living.
There is a demand for child sex, unfortunately.
We rode with Kimberly Ritter, who now looks at abandoned buildings as potential hiding places for people who want to enslave children for sex.
You have to be aware, because if you pay attention, you may be able to save a child.
She learned about sex slaves by accident when working as a travel agent for nuns. A judge sentenced Kyle Parks for selling girls. It happened inside this St. Charles motel. One was a missing teen from Ohio. Detectives traced her cell phone here. If traffickers and kidnappers are brazen enough to use hotels, Ritter thinks it's likely they're also working in abandoned buildings.
No one comes to a location like this. It is hidden in plain sight.
Like this abandoned North St. Louis house that reportedly hid a 12-year-old girl for days. She'd been reported missing after failing to show up at her school bus stop. A suspect now faces charges of kidnapping and sex assault. The backyard shows signs of people hanging out, food containers and mattresses.
You never know what's going on in those houses.
We checked this abandoned building in North County. Kids' toys in the debris, another mattress.
This would be one of the things I would expect to find in an abandoned house, where kids who were homeless, kids who were taken, kids who are on drugs are laying for the night.
We're inside this iconic Lewis and Clark Tower in Moline Acres. It's condemned. The elevators don't work, but kids walk by and tell us people are up there. Why don't you think police just go in these places and...
Everybody asks me that question. I don't know.
You can see the tower from the Moline Acres police station blocks away, but the police chief here has no comment about checking inside for people who may need help. The St. Louis County Police Department does take action under a special investigations unit trained to rescue sex slaves.
We talked to a lot of the girls, and a lot of them it was just walking down the street, skip school, they're running away, they're walking down the street, and then somebody will pull up and go, hey, where are you headed to? During a traffic stop, county officers now know they have to look for more than just signs of someone selling drugs. They're looking for people who may be selling other people. They never know when they might find someone who's been missing. That's one of those things that my unit pays attention to. We get all the flyers of the missing girls, and then we pay attention to our typical areas, your back page, internet ads, to see if their pictures show up in any of those advertisements.
I did not know how big it was.
State Senator Maria Chappelle-Nadal has been one of the few politicians trying to get the public's attention, recently posting on Facebook asking parents to make sure their kids have a tracking device on their phones, instruct them to keep it on them when they leave the house. This is serious. Over 20 girls have gone missing in a very small local zone.
There are people who are zeroing in on our young girls and men as well, because they want to capture them and make them part of the sex trade.
A local Facebook page called Unity Alert reports 6 missing people just in the last 2 days. Unity Alert often forms search and rescue teams that you can connect through on our Fox 2 app, where you'll also find a list of all the missing teens we've compiled when generating this report.
This is absolutely horrifying. It's just basic people like, everyday people like us. What can we do to help?
Senator Nadal made a powerful statement that we should be that nosy neighbor and check in with a child that you think may be struggling and see how they're doing.
Now, you mentioned Berkeley was an area where a lot of them went missing. Did Berkeley police have anything to say?
No response.
No response?
None.
Okay.